All right, guys, welcome to the 2018 Mustang GT exit interview. Bit of a sad night, but before we get started, I just want to let you guys know I'm working on trying to get the quality up on the videos. I don't want to say to make them in a professional manner. I'm not really trying to strive for that. And I hope you guys like kind of that POV driving style in the beginning of the video. I want to do more of that. So still working with an iPhone. Don't have a GoPro yet. But I hope you guys like that. I'm gonna try to get more of that in the channel. And also I think it's a lot easier to talk when you're not staring at a camera. We're saying goodbye to my S550 GT. Now, I really wish I could have got more content on the S550 for this channel before saying goodbye to it. That was kind of the goal, but you know, plans change. We have a Whipple to fund for a new S650 Mustang. Now, I want to make a promise to you guys. If we can really get this channel going, I would love to bring you guys some more S550 content where we resurrect this, but in the form of a Shelby GT350, maybe a Mach 1. And this car I bought in Oklahoma, and just so you guys are aware, I'm actually in the DFW area, specifically Dallas, and I keep having this habit where I buy Mustangs from Oklahoma. I don't know, it's becoming a thing. So I made the trip with my girlfriend at the time to Oklahoma to pick this up. Bit of a funny story that I haven't told anybody, not even her, so I'll let you guys in now. But we were driving home and I knew this car was modified. So I remember the original owner, they told me that it had a 93 tune and it had the E85 tune, but no flex tune. And I also had like that programmer where you can upload the tunes to the car, the OBD2 port. But I was driving home and I put 93 in it because it didn't have much gas. But I put 93 in it. I was driving home and I was doing, as you would in your new Mustang, a bunch of watts. But as I was like getting onto the highway, the engine started like doing this like really weird cutout thing where it was like really choking up in the revs. And I had like the biggest heart attack. The cold sweats were flowing. I was panicking. So I like called my girlfriend and started screaming into the electronics, like, hey, like I got screwed. I bought a bad car. There's something wrong with this engine. Like, we got to go back. Like, just total freak out. Okay. Um, so hung up the phone and then she calls me back like a minute later and she's like, "Oh, hey, sorry. Like I didn't, like I guess there's something wrong with the audio. I didn't hear anything you said." And like it hit me in the moment. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I just have like the wrong tune and I should chill out a little bit. So just took it easy on the drive home on 93. So one of the first things I did though, because I want to make sure I was doing it right with this car, is I went to go get a dyno tuned. Make sure one, it was producing healthy numbers and I still had good compression, everything like that. Like I didn't hurt the motor in any way. But did the dyno tune on E85, we made 470 wheel. And that's pretty good considering the only bolt-ons on this car is a cold air intake and just a full exhaust. Um, no long tube headers. So when I saw that 470 number on E85, super happy with that. That's a really healthy number. And then I think if I remember off the top of my head, it was like 435, 440 on 93. So I knew we were okay. So through the 3 years after buying the car, from from then all the way to today, it's been a super good car for me. Had a few issues with it that are relatively minor. I had the backup camera sensor that gets triggered when you put the transmission into reverse. And that went, but that was like $100 part. I think I spent like $50 for the install. So not a big deal. I had the side marker lights go out, but in the rear, had to replace those. Not a big deal. Overall, it's been a really good car to me. So it's sad to see it go. But I do really want another S550 in the future. And again, probably Whippled, making a lot of power. But for now, we got our S650 and we got a Whipple coming for that. So you guys will see a lot of cool content on that coming up. Okay. Now, the choice to buy this car, I think I might have said in one of my previous videos, I used to own a ZL1 1LE. When that got stolen though, State Farm took care of me pretty well. I like bought the car, the ZL1, I bought it right before COVID, where prices were like dirt cheap in like 2019, early 20. And when it got stolen, it was like right at the height of car prices. So I ended up making like $10 or $11,000 off that car. So what I did with, so I took that money, I went to like two or three different Chevrolet dealerships in the DFW area, put like $1,000 refundable deposits, but $1,000 deposits down at the dealerships to put my order in. So it was 2022. I didn't make the order allocations for the 22 model year, so they bumped me to 23. Um, Waited all of 2022 for the 2023 model year. Never got an allocation for that. Then they bumped me to 24, but the ZL1 1LE was the production was seized for the 24 model year. They still made the ZL1, but not the 1LE. So I was like, you know what? Like whatever. Let me just get back into a Coyote MT82 Mustang. I used to have my S197. Love that thing. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do that. So that was the decision to purchase this. Um, and certainly no regrets. It's hard to say that it holds a candle to a ZL1, right? That is a very, very dedicated track car with a supercharger on it, a small one, but a supercharger nonetheless, making good boost. But it's still a fun car. Still enjoyed it. Like had a good time. So after owning this car for almost 3 years now, um, it's been a super enjoyable car, like I said. But after you drive and own a supercharged car, a supercharged V8, anything that's just significantly underpowered. So I would definitely want to do something with boost. I could have thrown a Whipple at this one, but I kind of figured I wanted to start over. So I remember when the S550 first came out for the 2015 model year, I was super, super intrigued by it. Like just getting out of high school into the Marine Corps. And I remember my mom would like send me pictures and like magazine cutouts when I was in boot camp of the new 2015 Mustangs. I kind of toyed with the idea of buying that one instead of my 2014 model year, but ended up not doing that. So, and then I remember when the 2018 model year with the Gen 3 Coyotes and the new front fascias started coming out for back in 2017. I remember like sitting on my couch watching YouTube videos of Ford's release of this, and I thought it was like the ugliest front fascia that I've ever seen on a Mustang. Now, I don't know what happened, but it's, like, completely grown on me. Whenever I see a Gen 3 Coyote, I just think, like, those those really are like, they did the front so well on these cars. The only problem with them is that they always look like they need more chin in stock form and that they sit way too high, which is a typical Mustang problem. They all just sit on stilts. I don't know why Ford does that. So, any 2018, model year plus S550 Gen 3 Coyote just needs a little bit of stancing and some lowering springs, and it's like a little bit more chin. And I think they just look like I feel like they just have like such a pissed off look to them that I think that new S650s, the new S650 models kind of lack. So the front really grew on me. I think it's genuinely a very handsome front end for a Mustang. Besides that, I don't have really much done to it visually. It did come with these niche wheels. Now, Niche is not a super high-end wheel company, but they've been okay. I haven't really had any complaints with them. They were like a gloss black when I bought the car. Looked kind of weird. It wasn't like it didn't texture well with the shadow black paint that Ford does. So I had these painted bronze, and then in the rear, I just have like the ZL1 add-ons wicker bill because this has the GT350, like the Gen 1 GT350 early style rear wing. So other than that, it's not a whole lot done to it visually. And then on the interior, it's basically stock. The only thing really that's changed on the interior is a shift knob, which looks like a GT350 shift knob. Now, the interiors on these cars, I feel like Ford also did super well with them. As long as you get the premium that comes with the whole touchscreen instead of like that little calculator board, whatever whatever that's called. I think the interiors are done really well. So this one is a 401A, so it does have the digital dash, which I still stand to this day is the best dashboard ever fitted to a production car, like period, no exceptions. There's nothing better out there. The new S650 dashes are cool, but it's just like thrown on iPads. It's not very sleek. It doesn't blend well. And it's not integrated to the interior very well. especially especially because it doesn't sit below a dashboard. It's literally just a giant iPad tacked onto the front of the dash. But the interiors on these, I think Ford did a super good job in. Um, they definitely feel more race car, I think, than the S650s. I'm not sure why, because dimensionally they're pretty similar, being on the same chassis and sharing a lot of the same interior parts. But feels a bit more race car. It feels a bit more enclosed. I know some people kind of get a claustrophobic feeling in them. I kind of like that. I don't really like the feeling of sitting in a fishbowl in a car. These ones definitely more collapsed. It feels more surrounded. So I really like that about the interiors. The leather is a pretty good quality. Again, having the digital dash, I think is like the best thing ever. And if you guys are gonna shoot for a 2018 plus Gen 3 Coyote, I would definitely either buy a dash, one of the digital dashes aftermarket, which you can do and replace with your typical analog dash, or just shoot for a 401A package because they really are like the coolest thing ever. But yeah, the driving experience in this car, um, it's a lot of fun. It's really good. Even being NA, even feeling like it's underpowered, coming from a boosted car, it's still such an enjoyable experience. I think the steering is definitely superior than the new S650s. And ever since getting my new S650 Mustang, I always have like this internal battle with myself where I'm like, okay, do I like this car more than the S550? And I want to say yes, I want to say I should, right? It would like hurt if I didn't. I just spent so much money on it, relative to what I spent on this car. Like like I feel like I should hope that I like it better, but I don't know. Maybe it's just as I've had more time behind the wheel of an S550, and I just have grown to attach myself to these cars a bit more, or that I don't know, I have more of a sentimental feeling for my 2018, just because there's been some really good memories in it. But I'm still pretty torn. The new 650 and 550 are incredibly similar cars, right? Basically the same engine, definitely the same transmission. And because there's so much shared on the interior, the door panels are the exact same, the seats are the exact same, even like the patterning of the leather is the same, both front seats and rear seats. Like they are incredibly similar cars. So it's not much of an upgrade for a pretty felt price when you purchase a new S650. But I really am gonna want another S550 in my life. I do genuinely love these cars, and as much as I'm obsessed with the S197s, you know, the 1314 GTs, and then of course the 1314 GT 500s, I would have to say the S550s, specifically the Gen 3s, are my favorite Coyote Mustangs. They're just so cool. They drive so well, and they're such an improvement over the old model that they replaced. I definitely see myself with another S550 in my life. Now, I'm pretty confident I'm not going to do another GT or GT Premium with these cars. I think really the only route now, going into the future, would definitely be a Mach 1, maybe a Gen 2 Voodoo, but for sure, whatever S550 I buy, I'm gonna throw a boost at it. So that's why I'm right now kind of leaning towards preferability in a Mach 1. You just get the way superior Tronic transmission rather than the Getrag MT82, a incredibly reliable Gen 3 Coyote. Rather than like, the questionability that kind of comes with the Voodoo. I think a lot of that's overblown, honestly, in my opinion. Um, I would even feel pretty comfortable buying a Gen 1 Voodoo. It's just that as soon as you start thinking about throwing boost on it, which is what I would, driven a TP350 before. And I remember immediately on my test drive, one of the first feelings I got was underwhelming power. Now I didn't really take it super high in the RPMs, but if you're below 4,000, these ones, the Gen 3 Coyotes definitely feel stronger than a stock Voodoo. But yeah, the idea would definitely be to supercharge whatever S550 I get in the future, or turbocharge. Who's to say? So Mach 1 probably, GT350 possibly. We'll have to see. Now, guys, that's everything really with the S550 2018 Mustang GT exit interview. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I'm sure you guys are all new here if you're watching this video, so I'm not going to ask you guys to subscribe. I just hope that you enjoy the content. And if there's anything else you'd like to see, or make you think I can make corrections on, feel free to throw me a comment, and I'll definitely read that because I get a few of them. A few, I mean one or two per video. So, anyways, yeah, thanks guys for watching. One last thing for you. Again, I'm trying to get the quality of these videos up. So hopefully this seems to have gone, at least visually smoother than my last videos. Still working my way on getting comfortable behind the camera and speaking into the void. I cannot tell you how incredibly awkward it is. You think it's going to be easy, and then when you start talking into space, your thoughts just get like so scatterbrained, and they're just like a complete disorganization. So trying to get better at that for you guys. Still working on trying to get my thoughts out there um, a bit more smoothly, a bit more linearly, rather than I feel like scatterbrained is how my past videos have been. So hope you guys see improvements as these videos come along. I super appreciate you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next one.